Who can really help you? Not just for a moment, but for life and eternity. That's the question Hebrews raises, and the answer is Jesus, the perfect God and perfect man. This week we are exploring Hebrews chapter 4, verse 14, through to chapter 5, verse 10. And in this passage we are introduced to Jesus as our great high priest. Check out the opening paragraph beginning in Hebrews 4:14. Since then we have a great high priest who has passed through the heavens, Jesus, the Son of God. Let us hold fast our confession. For we do not have a high priest who is unable to sympathize with our weaknesses, but one who in every respect has been tempted as we are, yet without sin. Let us then with confidence draw near to the throne of grace, that we may receive mercy and find grace to help in time of need. Unlike Israel's priests who entered the temple once a year, Jesus passed through the heavens and now sits at the Father's right hand. Because of him, verse 14 urges us to hold fast to our confession. This is an invitation to all of God's people then and now to keep clinging to Jesus, no matter how hard life gets. But this high priest is not remote. He knows what it feels like to be fully human. He was tested, tempted, pressed to the limit, and yet never sinned. That's why he can truly sympathize with us in weakness. And because he never fell, he's strong to save. There's another beautiful invitation there in verse 16, which says, let us then with confidence draw near to the throne of grace. Not because you've got it together, but because Jesus opened the way. There you'll find mercy for your past, grace for your present need, and hope for the future. That means in the middle of shame, exhaustion, fear, or temptation, you don't have to stand at a distance. You can come close to God. But how do we know Jesus is qualified for such a role? Well, chapter 5 unpacks this. Priests in Israel didn't take the job for themselves. God appointed them. Jesus too was chosen, not from Aaron's line, but as a priest forever in the order of Melchizedek. We'll get to who he is later in the week, but for the moment, that makes Jesus unique. A priest with no expiry date, appointed directly by the Father. And unlike sinful priests who needed sacrifices for their own failings, Jesus was without sin. His weakness was real. He knew hunger, grief, pressure, but it never led him astray. Verse 7 paints the picture. Jesus offered up prayers with loud cries and tears. Think Gethsemane, think the cross. And he was heard, not because he avoided suffering, but because he submitted to the Father's will. His resurrection proves it. Chapter 5, verses 8 and 9 get to the heart of it. Although he was a son, he learned obedience through what he suffered. And being made perfect, he became the source of eternal salvation to all who obey him. Jesus lived what we could never live. And he died the death that we deserve. He rose to bring us to God, and now he saves completely all who trust in him. That's the big picture. Jesus sympathizes with our weakness, saves us through his obedience, and opens the way into God's presence. Perfect God, perfect man, perfect Savior. So who can really help you? Not your own strength, not a religious ritual, not the latest self-improvement trend, only Jesus, your great high priest. Hold fast to him, draw near through him, receive mercy and grace in your time of need.